So I decided to try the Zurgo Bellstriker deck again. It was a popular deck, and it's also like one of the more budget-friendly decks. It's not even running Cavern of Souls or Wasteland, and it's a pretty cheap deck to build. So that makes it pretty popular in the format by default. And it's decent. I'm not a huge fan of these type of low to the ground strategies, but it can be pretty effective from time to time. I decided to make a few changes. Last time I played, I noted that Umezawa's Jit and Shackles, Vidalcan Shackles, are pretty hard to beat. So I added some flexible artifact removals. So a Braid was just printed, and that can kill a creature or it can destroy an artifact. I decided Torch Fiend is a 2/1, if you don't need to kill an artifact, or you can use it to destroy an artifact. Fiery Confluence, it's a bit expensive. It's 4 mana, but it can kill up to 3 artifacts, or it can just do 6 damage to the face. Or if you've got a bunch of two toughness creatures, and your opponent has 1 toughness creatures, which is actually pretty common. There are a lot of 1 toughness creatures in the various Timna or Ludwig decks. And so you might be able to sweep the board of them while keeping your creatures alive, or something like that. So I thought it was worth giving it a try. Actually, the one I'm the least convinced about is a Braid, because it can't go to the face. Whereas both of these 2 cards can do damage directly to the opponent in some way or another. A Braid cannot go to the player. But it's Commander, everybody's playing at least 1 creature. But it might not have 3 toughness or less or something like that. But I figured I'd give it a try anyways. You don't lose that much by just swapping out a couple of cards. And then the last card I decided to give a try was Magus the Moon. It at least has a body. I'm not going to do Blood Moon, because if you're playing against a monocolor deck, which there are several mono blue decks, several mono green decks, whatever, it doesn't really do that much. Magus the Moon is at least a body. It's easier to kill, but at least it's distracting from the other things you're trying to do. It's not a very efficient body. I figured I'd give it a try. I did try Winter Orb, but it turns out this deck actually has a lot of trouble winning if it doesn't have access to all its mana. It actually uses all of its mana a lot of the time. It seemed like it would be really good, but in testing I found it was not very good. So I decided not to include that. And I had to make some cuts in order to make these extra cards fit. But this deck is actually really, really efficient. Like, all of the cards in it have a very specific purpose. So I had trouble finding some cuts, but I eventually decided that Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast, I can try and go without them. And Dragon Mantle, I guess, is alright in some circumstances, but I decided it's probably not going to cut too much of a percentage off of wins if you're not running Dragon Mantle. And Sin Prodder, I'm not super fond of. You're never going to get a land from it. Sometimes, it might just do tiny amounts of damage. Like, your opponent would obviously rather take 1 damage than give you a lightning bolt or something like that. So it's just not great for its mana cost. I decided I'd try these 4 cards instead of these 4 cards and see how it does. So let's find out. Alright, we got match 1. We're on the draw. This hand looks alright. 3 lands is probably 1 more than I'd like this early in the game. But we've got some good spells to play. And this might be 4 mana. We'll go ahead and give it a shot. We draw a card. We're playing against Jeleva. Jeleva? I don't know. Not something you see very often. Alright. At least it's a spell. It's an expensive spell. We don't yet have the mana to cast these 4 manas, but I'm not super worried about that. Alright. Electromancer. Strange. Is this like a Spellslinger deck? Alright. Don't want him to know necessarily that I have mana. Happy to have him block or not block. And we'll play this, I think, because it's just bigger. I guess this is bigger. And he tapped 2 mana and conceded. I don't know what happened there, but I'll take it. Alright, we got match 2. We're on the play. Playing against Thalia. Alright. This should be interesting. I think we keep this hand. If we draw a bunch of lands, we can always cycle this. Fork Bolt is going to be pretty good against the Thalia deck. We're going to start with Zurgo, obviously. Huh. Alright. We'll attack. I was wondering if I should hold back a land. I don't think I should. I think I should play Karizev. I don't think he really wants to use the Weathered Wayfarer. I think he probably wants to play Thalia. And if he does want to use the Weathered Wayfarer, then I'm happy to have him do it. What I'd really like him to do is play Thalia and get blown out. Yeah, we don't have to worry about the Weathered Wayfarer anymore. We definitely play a land, and I think we play Frenzied Goblins. Player discards all the cards in his hand and draws that many cards. 4 damage or 3 damage to an opponent. Tangle Wire. Alright. Four of these. Suits me. I think that's probably worse for him than... You usually want to play that when you have an advantage, not when you're taking 5 damage anyways. But I'm okay with that. We definitely want to play another land, so we can have some lands next turn. Alright, he gets 1 land untapped. Possibly plays another land. Like he could be replaying Thalia here. Not that that's super great. We don't have anything. I mean, unless we tap 2 creature, we don't. I think we just tap 3 lands for now. All right, that's pretty good. Whatever. No. It's already down to 11, and he's fighting against his own Tangle Wire. And he gets 3 mana this turn. He can play another land, and then play Thalia. A Parallax Wave, okay. What can we do here? I'm trying to think, we can play Chandra. He's just going to exile our creatures anyways. We can Collective Defiance, dealing... No, we don't want a Collective Defiance. We want to play Chandra. So it's got 2 counters on it. So let's tap down the Frenzied Goblin and the land. And then let's attack. He can't let us, yeah. We actually want that to go to exile, I think. See what he's got here. He's got 4 cards. Mirren Crusader. Glow Rider. Okay. I think we have to tap a land here. And we didn't draw land. What's the other side of Chandra do? Deals 2 damage. 2 damage to creature. I think. More than 3 damage this turn. So we can't flip Chandra this turn. I think we can attack with Frenzied Goblin. I think he probably wants to block with Glow Rider. Do we attack with Chandra? Yeah, we can attack with Chandra, I think. Well, I don't think we attack with Chandra. Happy to have that happen. And then we can have him... I think we want to hit him. I think we don't care about the Mirren Crusader. Do we need to do that now? Sure, whatever. It's when you have, it's 0 counters. That's how fading works. Alright, we win. Yeah. We have several ways. We could do 6 damage with this thing or 4 damage with this thing. And Azaret's not that impressive. But, alright, we won. Alright, we got match 3. We are on the draw. Hand looks pretty good. Playing against Nissa. Searing Blood's going to be kind of good. I don't know if we lead with Goblin Guide or Zurgo. Goblin Guy starts to damage right away. Alright, he mulled that 5. So that's good, and he doesn't have a turn 1 play. I think Zurgo is correct. I don't really want to give him any lands on a mulligan 5. I mean, I know the chances like, well, 4 out of 6, usually. Somewhere around there. Or 4 out of 10. 40%. 39%. Is he missing a land drop? Oh, man. Well, let's... We definitely don't want to play Goblin Guide now. I think what we want to do... Oh, let's attack first. Probably shouldn't have played a land first. There's no reason to. I think we play the Ankh. Just so he just starts taking that... he should have sacked this in response. Always yield to that. I should provide a ton of incremental damage. Alright, so he hits Search from tomorrow. I think we just got really lucky here. Let's go ahead and attack. And let's make every land he plays really, really hurt. I feel a little bad, but you gotta do what's correct, right? I mean, he still hasn't drawn a land. Ouch. Do we play the Goblin Guide now? We could just char him. I think we hold up an instant. We've got a 2-mana instant and a 3-mana instant. If he plays a creature, we want to kill it, probably. Unless it's Sakura Tribe Elder. This is a lot like what happened to me the other day. Mulligan to 4, and I mean, I at least had 2 lands when I mulligan to 4. Alright, well this is going to hurt. If he draws another land, he can play Nissa. I'm going to always yield to that. Alright, and we... bunch of short games. Alright, we got match 4. We're on the play. And... it's a lot of lands. Playing against Animar. We have a lightning bolt for Animar. I guess it seems okay. Question is, do we lightning bolt the bird? Guess we don't have to answer that question. Let's attack. I want to get this out as soon as possible. That's why I didn't play the Ash Zealot instead. Can still kill something here. Drawing another land is not great. Let's go ahead and play a land, play Ash Zealot. I'm not gonna bolt that. Alright. I'm okay with that. Get that out of the way. I've drawn so many lands, it might be really hard to finish up here. I'm starting to wonder if I should have kept. This cost another 2 mana. It's at least something to do if we flood, but it's not great. We might be able to cast it when he plays another Animar. No, probably not. Because he can play an Animar next turn. I don't think he played one this turn. Need to draw a real card. Not a land. Four for a Vizier. Wow. Oh, man. Oh. Not a good sign. I mean, I guess we've been lucky. And, this is, we kept a 4-lander, and we have literally only drawn lands, haven't we? Like, these are the cards that were in my starting hand. And I have only drawn lands, so, like, that's a little statistically improbable. Alright, a morph. Not playing Animar. Alright, a Fauna Shaman. Alright, well that's the first real card we've drawn. I think this is probably over. I don't think we can allow him to keep a Fauna Shaman around now. And I don't think we sacrifice a creature to do no damage. I don't know if there really actually are any outs here. Maybe Char or something else that does 4 damage to this thing might be okay for us. But, I mean, this turn's probably going to go really badly for us. What is this morph? Could be a chroma. Plus 1. We're so dead. So very, very dead. I don't think I think we've, now that this is 5 toughness, unless he attacks with it, I think we're very, very dead. Also, Den Protector is another creature he could be playing. Yeah, he's not going to attack with the 4 or 5. Alright, Fiery Confluence. Does 6 damage to his face. Kills that thing, but that's about it. Doesn't destroy any artifacts. Do we throw in the towel yet? I think probably. I'm just gonna call it quits there. I don't think there's any outs whatsoever. No sense drawing it out. Got match 5. We are on the play. Playing against Selvala. Don't have a way to kill Selvala. Selvala can be a problem. I don't know about this hand. Hellspark plus Skull Clamp is pretty good. I mean, it's a decent hand. I don't know if I should really mulligan just because it's not great in the matchup. It's a tough one. I'm going to try it. Let's find out. I think we start off with Zurgo and not the Loyalist. Alright, he doesn't have a turn 1 elf. That's a good sign. Let's play the Loyalist and the Skull Clamp. If we don't draw land, we can Bushwhack. If we do draw land, we can Hellspark into equip this Skull Clamp. Alright, no land. Alright, Mystifying Maze. There's Selvala. Gotta find a way to get through that. Alright, well that does it. Happy to see that card. Not sure what that would have been. Oh, alright. Well, that sucks. We're definitely not attacking. Did not expect the free pump spell. Usually they still need an extra turn to go off. Oh, no, guess not. Jeez. Alright, so I'm pretty sure it's over. Alright. It's not the end of the world. That is the end of the world. Man, if that abraded worked, we'd be in a good position. Alright, yeah, no, it's over. Alright, so we face down a couple of big mana strategies, and I think that's kind of going to be the weakness of the deck. If you can't stop them from getting into those big mana strategies, then you know, they're just going to go way over the top of you. We got a little lucky against Nissa. And, you know, I mean, like, this deck can do well if it gets lucky. It punishes bad keeps. It punishes bad hands. It punishes stalling out for a second or relying on just one or two creatures to get you through it. But if they got a good hand, a lot of time, there's not much you can do about it. So we went 3-2. I'm not super upset about that. That's actually, I think, better than I did last time. And, you know, we got a little lucky to get there. And then we got a little unlucky the fourth game, and then that was probably, I don't know, that Invigorate. That was pretty still, I mean, a lot of fun. So, give it a try if you want a cheap deck. Let's go ahead and open this treasure chest here. We at least broke even. Indomitable Ancients. Kind of a nothing rare. Yeah, so, nothing special. But we broke even. So, thank you guys for watching. You have a good night.